welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom, and we're going to go through my top 6 graphic novels / trade paperbacks from Marvel. This is just my personal choice. I'm not saying these are the best graphic novels from Marvel. They're just the favourite ones that are in my collection. So the first one we're going to talk about is The Mighty Thor in the Ballad of Beta Ray Bill Simonson, and it's basically the introduction of the Beta Ray Bill character and how he kind of takes on Thor. And I really love the Beta Ray Bill character because I love a character that looks monstrous but is heroic. I think I love it, and I would love to see him in the movies, to be honest with you. So I really enjoyed this particular issue, the trade paperback. So that is the first one. Next one is Death's Head Volume 1. So this is the kind of the earlier adventures of Death's Head, British comic, and this is basically all of the kind of the collected sort of stories. There's obviously a Volume 2 as well, and there's also a kind of a singular kind of like one-off story that you can get as a graphic novel. But I like these early issues, very British. Yeah, I mean, Death's Head was one of my favourite characters. If you've seen my singular issue, he's popped up there a few times, so I do love a bit of Death's Head. As I've mentioned, I love it when I have my favourite characters kind of come together, and two are in this particular graphic novel: Ghost Rider and Punisher. And I do like Wolverine. I wouldn't say he's one of my favourite characters, but I do enjoy Wolverine as well. But Ghost Rider and Punisher are two of my favourite characters, and the story here, basically Blackheart kind of summons three, quote, anti-heroes, basically, who are very close to kind of crossing the line, so to speak, and ultimately kind of try to tempt them. This one actually, this particular one actually has two stories, so it's got the sequel to it as well. So it kind of, you get both kind of stories really. The second one takes place a little while after, basically. I prefer the first one. So it's a great story with three great characters, two of which are my favourites. Now, Spider-Man is actually probably my all-time favourite character, and I really enjoyed this story, Identity Crisis. And what it is, if you don't know, is that Spider-Man kind of like decides to take on 4 different personas. In each of them have kind of a different gimmick, and he uses his powers in kind of different ways. And it's a real fun way of kind of like having Peter Parker kind of having these 4 personas and see how the public kind of react to them and stuff like that. And there's a great scene where Vulture realizes that it's Spider-Man because of his quips. He thinks, hang on, you're Spider-Man, because this is the sort of same thing that he would say to me, and he kind of, the jig is up, so to speak. So I really enjoyed Identity Crisis, yeah, so it's a fun story, and I was kind of gutted when it finished, to be honest. I really enjoyed these characters. I think some of the other people took some of the identities, but they've kind of disappeared into the ether. Secret Wars. This was the comic that got me into comics, I would say, and this one I've actually got signed. My brother bought me this for a birthday, I think, and it's a simple story. We have all these kind of heroes get sent off to Battle World, which is kind of by this Beyonder, who is this godlike kind of being who pits all these heroes against different villains. And it's great, and it introduced me to all of the kind of the players in this one, and great story. It's not a great story, but I really like Doctor Doom in this story. That's a great villain. So I'm looking forward to if he comes back to the Marvel Universe. And then this one, and then these are in no particular order. It's only a small one. This one, Punisher kills the Marvel Universe. I think there's been another version of this as well. And this is basically where, again, it's like a Marvel alternative, so like a what-if type story. And someone basically hires the Punisher to kill all of the heroes all of the villains, and it's kind of basically just fight after fight of the Punisher, having these kind of all these altercations with different heroes and villains and stuff like that, and how he kind of reacts to them. And I really enjoyed the interplay with Punisher and Daredevil, and Captain America as well. You know, I really enjoyed it, and I kind of quite like the art as well. And it's because I quite like the way all these victims of different superhero battles, they're all kind of scarred up and stuff. So that's a bit of a fun read. Obviously, not really canon or anything. So that is my top 6 trade paperbacks / graphic novels. What do you think? Have you read any of these? Leave us a comment and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.